Just too many conflicting stories coming out about the assassination of Haiti's president, Jovenel Moise. And the most conflicting stories I've heard is coming from his wife. Now, I mean, when it first came out, I just had this strong feeling that his wife knew more than what she was saying. And her role was probably bigger in this assassination than what everyone thinks. When she first made statements, she said that the assassins came in and without any questions immediately shot and killed Jovenel. But that is not what the autopsy report says. So my question is, who is Martine protecting and who is protecting her? And she could be protecting the life of her family, her children, and herself. Or she could be protecting someone else. When the reports were first coming out, they were saying that Jovenel was making phone calls, trying to get someone to come and assist him. He said that there were gunshots being fired outside of his home. Now, who were they shooting at? Were they just shooting just to be shooting? Was it security team shooting? What was the deal? Because according to his wife, he just came in and just shot him. You know, I kept saying something about those superficial gunshot wounds his wife received. Did they shoot her in order to make him talk? Because if that's the case, it didn't work, because she said they killed him. And after they killed him, they went just rummaging around through the room and found something and said, "We found it," and left. But what I really want to focus on is her statements. She said that they came in and immediately shot and killed him. But that's not what the autopsy report says. The autopsy report says that he was tortured before he was killed. Why did she leave that part out? They said that after they found her, they took her to a hospital, and later she was transferred to Miami. They've taken pictures of everything else. Why wasn't a picture taken of her being rushed into the hospital in Miami and leaving the hospital in Miami? Now I understand that she could very well be in fear of her life because of what normally goes on in Haiti. She is not protected. They got in on her husband, they can get in on her too. And it was an inside job. So I can understand why she would be in fear and feel as if there's no one she can trust. But what she witnessed, it's a lot to hold in. According to the autopsy report, the president's left eye was gouged out, not shot out like they first said. The gunshot exploded his eye. No, it said it was gouged out. I know that seeing that, that's something, you know, that's going to cause you some sleepless nights. And I can understand. But at the same time, that's a lot to hold in. And I just feel as if, hey, man, I would have to tell somebody. I would have to find somebody that I can trust. Somebody that's going to help me out to get justice for what happened to my family. To be honest, I don't know if they will ever find out the truth about what happened with this assassination. I don't feel as if they will ever find out the top dog that orchestrated this assassination. There's too many little men at the bottom that's going to take the rap. And I wouldn't want to put his son out there. But I can only speak for myself about myself. If I had witnessed something like that happening to my father, you could not threaten me with silence. Because I know that eventually you're going to come after me too. So I might as well make sure that I put some heat on your behind as well. But I also know about Haiti. These people do not like Haiti. These European nations, countries, they do not like Haiti for what Haiti did, which was gained its independence. They don't like that. So I can understand that in Haiti, you probably have no one that you can trust. Maybe she should hire some of those street gangs. I think she'd be better off being protected by street gangs than some hired security personnel. When the president was on the phone saying that there was a gun battle outside of his home, as I said, who were they fighting with? And this person I see right here, lying down by this vehicle, is that a dead person? Is that one of the people that got shot during the gun battle? Did Moise have a gun, and was he alone shooting it out with the assassins? Why did she leave the part out about, like you want to go step by step? Well, we were in the house, we heard gunshots, looked out the window, we saw guys look like soldiers running around with guns, shooting. There's a lot of her story that is left out. When she was whisked away to Miami, did some operatives in Miami instruct her on what to say? Was her life actually threatened there? I mean, the continuation of it. So you know what happened in Haiti to your husband. Now, if you don't say this, the way we tell you to say it, we're going to kill you and your children. Is that why she has not divulged the entire story? And this thing, whatever it is that the assassins were searching for, what was it? I mean, as a person that has a home, I know when something is missing. What did she go around and see that was missing out of the house that these people had taken? Was it documents, artifacts, money? What was it? I mean, me, knowing the history of Haiti and how these other countries feel about Haiti, it just seems strange to me that they will allow her to come to Miami, of all places, to receive medical treatment, as they say. And she came back too fast with, hey, I understand, because I was shot myself. They sent me home the same night, so I can dig it. But she is the president's wife. I mean, if she was really in fear of her life and her children's life, why come back? Why would I come back to a place that is not safe? They couldn't protect your husband, so how are they going to protect you? I don't know why she made statements as early as she did, because it was just too fast for her to make statements going on Twitter. It just don't look right. And from the things I've been hearing, it don't sound right. Everyone knows that lies are being told. Everyone knows that something is being hidden from the public. I mean, why exactly was he killed? And that story she talking about for land, all that type of stuff, I don't understand that. But I've heard about these laws they were trying to put in place. So maybe they were trying to kill him before he could actually do it. A lot of these people, they are still coming to these places in search of new land. So maybe they want some new land that Moise didn't want to give them. So now they want to put some people in place with these so-called international ties so they can make deals to come in and buy land in Haiti, talking about redevelopment. But it's really about new ownership. You know, there's all this talk about population control. And before the pandemic, you had these medical boats going to the islands trying to give people medicine. And now you have some Haitians lining up to get the jab. From the way it's looking so far, there won't be no negotiating. They can just walk right in and take Haiti because there will be nobody in Haiti to protect Haiti. You know, everyone is concerned about money, money, money. But if you look at what's happening nowadays, money is hard to replace. They're shutting down a lot of jobs that people used to have. You can't go to these places unless you have been vaccinated. So people hiding about money, money, money. How is your money going to work for you? Or is your money solely to stimulate the economy? You know, this story that they have floating around about these Haitians trying to get Moise out the seat so they can get in the seat, that was a stupid idea. That was a stupid thing to say, even to report. Because everyone knows they would not have been successful. I mean, what's happened thus far is proof of that. But I think that they're just a distraction for what really happened. So regardless of what they say about Colombians and the other two Haitians, his wife just looked more suspicious as the days go by. But although she does look suspicious, there was some help from the top. Now, how high can you get than the president and the president's first lady? For these mercenaries to make it up to the president's house, get into the house, shoot up the house, and drive away, and to be found later on, you know they had some help. Because really, they weren't supposed to make it to the president's house. So everything that has to do with security is involved. That's the military, the police, and regular security guards. Everyone that has something to do with protecting the president is guilty. Maybe 20, 30 years from now, on someone's deathbed, they will come up with what really happened. But until then, you just have people guessing and trying to figure out what's going on. And usually when that happens, people are way off base. Here's another question I have. When they said that Jovenel's eye was gouged out, did they ever find the eye? Was that eye delivered to someone as proof that they killed Jovenel? Is it a souvenir for one of the assassins? And like I said with this, the more you think about it, the more questions that you will have. And I heard they still practice voodoo in Haiti. I think it's about time for y'all to go dig up some roots and do what you got to do.